For the last time in 2024, it's time to cool those brakes, tune into the relaxing tones of Traffic Paradise Radio, and chill with us for a while.
Nice paradise, like traffic paradise. What is this one?
Hello, and welcome to the special bonus episode of Traffic Paradise Radio. I'm Uno, and joining me today are Immy.
Hi.
And Kira.
Hello.
Today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at our favorite helmets and liveries of the season. It's a bit of a fun episode. We're going to start off with the helmets in no particular order because everyone had different favorites. So we're just going to go through the list of all of our favorite helmets of the season. There's 6 of them. Immy, would you want to start us off? What's the first one on the list?
I will start us off. The first one on the list is Lando Norris's inverted helmet, which he wore from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi. I really like this one because for the black, it uses, that sort of really dark, incredibly dark black paint that got into like a copyright war. And so it's not called what it was called. This is a really bad tangent. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? That really dark paint that, like, if you draw it in a circle on the floor, it'll look like a hole.
Yeah, it doesn't reflect any light.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. It's like a true black. There's no light reflection whatsoever. Yes.
Thank God you're here. Now that sounds a lot like less of a mad ramble. But yeah, I think it's really sick. And I think in part this was for the MasterCard sort of sponsorship. Because I think McLaren added quite a lot of black onto their car when they announced MasterCard, and they were also wearing those sort of black reflective hats. But yes, I like this a lot more than the normal variant, to be honest. So I'm not a massive fan of neon green, but when it's on this super, is that neon green or yellow?
I'd say neon green.
It's arguable.
It's basically okay. Highlight to color.
Yes, we'll say highlighter. I think it looks a lot nicer having it on the black than having the black on it.
I also think that the black was also something to do with like having Monster come in as one of their main sponsors.
It does gel very well with that Monster logo on the side.
It does. I don't know if it's because of Monster, but like it suddenly works a lot better with the Monster logo. Yeah.
It gels, yeah. I mean Monster's been on the side of their helmets all year, but it works really well.
I like it. It's very different to what we've seen before, and it feels very iconic. It feels very edgy. I don't know. I really think it's cool, and I like that they sort of explored that black paint option that sort of, doesn't reflect any light. That's a very cool concept and a very cool product to use in a helmet that I don't know if we've ever seen before. So 10 points to Lando. Good job.
Yeah, I think I want to say Sebastian Vettel used it one year in Singapore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I think.
Well, we appreciate a Seb tribute, so we'll still give Lando the props there.
I believe that this newer helmet is very Lando, like it's still keeping all the signature patterns that, very, very him this season. They did a very good job in sort of making it unique while also making it still very iconically Lando.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, let's move on to the next helmet. Kira, do you want to talk us through that one?
Sure. So the next helmet that we all decided that we liked was the Max Verstappen 4 times World Drivers' Championship helmet, which he wore from Qatar to Abu Dhabi. Now, personally, I love this helmet. The white base with the golden elements to it, with the number 1 emblazoned onto the head. I think it's just a really classy and very sort of almost majestic style of helmet, which really sort of makes Max stand out from all the other drivers, because I don't think many drivers put like a lot of white on their helmets, especially not white and gold. Like that's obviously the colours that are associated with royalty, and obviously I think that's what they were going for here with the whole winning the world championship and just basking in the glory of that. So personally, I love this one.
Yeah, I mean, I really like this one. I can't decide whether the base is supposed to be like a marble or a sort of kintsugi. Christ. Yeah. Yeah. I can't remember the words of the name. But I like what I really like on the sort of back of it, you have this entire just gold section, and I think it looks hella cool, and you've got all the stars on the back. It's really classy, and I'll always have a soft spot for Max's helmets because he has the whole sort of lion thing on the top of it, and I just think it's quite cute.
I'm also sort of torn between whether it's supposed to be like a marble or a kintsugi sort of design. But either way, I love that gold vein going through it. I just think it's just super, super cool. Obviously, the other elements tie in nicely. The gold Red Bull logo is very cool. And it just, yeah, it looks legitimately cool and a nice way to sort of celebrate his 4 world championships. Just very also like iconic, but at the same time quite classy. You know, it feels like something you'd see in like a palace as opposed to other drivers' helmets, which look a bit more like you'd see them at a nightclub, maybe. This feels palatial, it feels classy, it feels expensive, dare I say.
Our next helmet is George Russell's helmet for China. Now, this is not a personal favorite of mine, so I don't have a lot to say, but I think honestly it's just so China, right? The color scheme, the sort of artwork on the side of it, it's I'd say a very beautiful tribute to a sort of track in a country that F1 hasn't been to for such a long time because of COVID. And it's nice to see him going all in. Like maybe some drivers would sort of shy away from having such an out there sort of design on their helmet, but George really sort of went for it and I can just applaud him for that.
Yeah, I dig it. I love the color scheme. Also brings in some gold, a little bit like Max's helmet, but it's sort of, yeah, it definitely evokes China, but in a very respectful way. I don't think it's sort of cliche or generic or a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes these things can just feel very sort of costumey, and a little bit sort of awkward. But this one, it feels very respectful, tasteful, and the use of the red and the gold is striking and really nice combination. So, yeah, I think he did a great job there. But I want to talk about another helmet from China because my favorite helmet of the season was Zhou Guanyu's China helmet because he used a map of the China subway system or train system as the decoration for his helmet. So if you've ever seen, I know Kira and Immy have seen it, but the map of the underground in London, it looks similar to that, and it's basically all the different train lines and how they can connect, and in different colors on a white background with the sort of blue. There's a word for that, like the the Chinese detailing on top, like a pattern that you often see on like fine china. I know there's a specific word for it, but I can't think of it right now. But to me, it's such a celebration of like China old and new. And obviously for Zhou, that's super important for him because he's a Chinese driver. So it's sort of the top part of it is celebrating historical China and the sort of artwork of China, and then the map of their train network is celebrating modern China. And I like that contrast. I think it's very cool. It's mostly white, so those little bits of color really stand out. And it's one of the few times where I'd be like, yeah, a white helmet is rad because, sort of like with Max's, it helps to showcase the design a lot better. So I think it's one of my favorites of the year. What do you think, Kira? Do you like it?
I love this helmet of Zhou's. I mean, it's very sort of personal. I think like the train map is something that it's not the first thing you think of when you think of China. Like, there's obviously the sort of designs that you'd go for with all the traditional stuff, but Zhou's helmet really brought out the more modern side. And well, while it's always nice to sort of celebrate history and stuff, it's also really refreshing and new to sort of talk about the modern era and how things changed. I think whoever designed this helmet has done a really good job of doing that for Zhou. It's a lovely helmet.
I think the way I'd describe this helmet is just classy, because it's not, like you guys have said, it's not so out there, it's not so much, but it's just so, like, you can tell how deep Zhou's love for China is. I mean, he always has the skyline on the back of his normal helmet, but here it's just, he loves everything about it, down to like public transport, which is not, you wouldn't go, oh, I love London, I love the tube, but Zhou loves it. And I just think it's endearing.
What's weird though is us foreigners, when we go to London, we totally love the tube. I have like a little mug at home of like the tube map and everything. So
To be fair, I am kind of like that actually, and I literally live an hour from London.
yeah, it's like I
Yeah,
think it's
I don't go on the tube enough.
Like,
maybe
I'm going on the
maybe
tube. I'm going on the tube this afternoon, and I can't wait.
it's fun. I love it. It's lots of
It
fun.
helps. It helps. I'm also a massive nerd about trains in general, though. Like, that might be part of it.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
fair.
I have a little tube map up in my bedroom, to be honest.
See,
Love
Just for the
that.
space on the
see,
wall.
everyone loves public transport.
I
We
feel
love a
like
good map.
I feel like the Brits are the only ones who celebrate iconic things like that are really like touristy. Like like, I think people from a lot of countries like don't like the touristy bits about their own country. I think that's a stereotype from where I've been in Europe and mainly.
I mean, I can kind of relate to that. I kind of relate to that. There's a lot of places where
Mm.
like foreigners go to in South Africa, and I'm just like, ugh, go somewhere else. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah. This is what I'm trying to say though. But like British
yeah,
people are very sort of touristy in London, even though
yeah,
like unless you live in London, you'll be a tourist in London.
yeah. But anyway, moving on from Joe, Kira, would you like to introduce the next helmet, please?
Yes, so my favourite helmet of the year actually wasn't a special helmet. It was Yuki Tsunoda's classic V2 helmet, which he wore for sort of the second third of the season. So sort of mid-season, he wore this helmet, and I just really like how they've changed that compared to his earlier season's helmet. This helmet's got the typical Japanese maple leaves as the original helmet. However, they've changed the color scheme slightly. They've made it a lot more brighter. They've included some white aspects to it. They've also changed the stylisms of his number as well on the top of his head, and I just think that it really became a much more well-rounded helmet when they made these changes. So personally, this is my favorite of the season.
A guilty pleasure I sort of have with this helmet is how the yellow of some of those Japanese maple leaves matches exactly with the sponsor on the very front of his helmet. I love it when something's so put together like that. Like this entire helmet, it just works so well. And you've got the red that sort of matches with the Orlan and the Honda on his visor. And it's just so put together. And when you see that sort of helmet in a Red Bull, it matches the colour scheme quite well. Just saying.
Hashtag Yuki to Red Bull.
This is the worst.
We are never ending
Yeah.
this hashtag. Yes, I love this helmet. This helmet is great. I really like the addition of the little white leaves, because so Yuki has sort of it's got like a couple meanings, but one of them is snow. So you think like white snow, and the way it's sort of peeking out there on the jawline, it could almost be seen as like a snowflake in a way, which I kind of like. And yeah, his sort of it's sort of like with Joe's helmet in that he's celebrating his home with this helmet. And he's had this style of helmet for a while. He's always incorporating these maple leaves into his helmets. And also, if you go look at, this is not a sponsorship thing, but if you go check out Yuki's merch, uh, you'll see
Yes. Oh my god.
there's there's also the same, well, not the same maple leaf design, it's a different maple leaf, but it's that he evokes that same idea. And yeah, I really like that he celebrates his home country in such a way. And yeah, as has already been said, the color scheme just, it looks so good when he's wearing a Red Bull racing suit and in a Red Bull car. It's like, this is manifestation at its best. He has been, when they say dress for success, if you're not successful, dress like you're successful and you'll become successful. I feel that's what Yuki's doing with his helmet, and we don't know how it's going to pay off yet. We're still waiting for that announcement, but maybe this is the trick, hey? So I love it, and I think it's a great choice, Kira, because this was your choice, Kira. So, like, 10 points well done for this choice. And our final helmet that we're looking at is another Lando Norris helmet, and this one is from Hungary. And it is stunning. It looks like a piece of porcelain, like an antique vase. It has beautiful blue flower details with birds and butterflies, and just a touch of gold that really, wow, it's just so classy. It's so beautiful. I love this helmet, and it was definitely in my top 3 helmets of the year. I just, yeah, I can't get enough of it. I wish more drivers would go this route when it comes to designing helmets. I'm so bored of like flame decals and fast looking squiggles. Like, it's just like so generic. Go beautiful, go classic, be inspired, because this for me is just, oh, chef's kiss.
Yes, I love because it's dedicated sort of to a Hungarian special type of art, and I think that's really sort of special, especially because this was sort of like an homage to the trophy he broke last year, I think. That's just like a really sweet meaning behind it. I love the gold and the blue, and I think it's sort of nice how the blue meshes with the Ecolab sponsor. What I will say, Monster Energy sticks out like a sore thumb. And it's also gold and blue and white and beautiful, and then it's neon green, which I guess is the point of a sponsor like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a very stunning helmet.
It was really nice seeing him, rock up in Hungary just with this beauty of a helmet. Yeah, it's just I love it.
Those are our favorite helmets of the season. If you have a favorite helmet, let us know in the comments down below. And if you're enjoying the video, leave us a like and think about subscribing. But moving on, we are now going to count down our top 5 liveries of the season. So what we did is we asked everyone at Traffic Paradise Radio to give us a ranking of their top 3 liveries of the season, and we gave each ranking a point, or 3 points, or 2 points, depending on where it ranked. And we added all those points up, and we came up with a top 5 list of liveries as voted on by everyone at Traffic Paradise Radio. So, Kira, would you tell us what is our 5th best livery of the season?
So, coming in at P5, we have the Williams Brazil livery. That is the yellow and blue livery, which they had as part of their deal with Mercado Libre. I believe that's one of the sponsors that came in when Franco joined. So this is just a really elegant design. Also pays homage to more traditional Williams liveries from several years ago. It's very elegant. I mean, I still find it quite funny that they made the roll hoop look like a Duracell battery. But yeah, other than that, it's really elegant.
Thank you, Kira. Next up, our P4 pick, Immy. Could you let us know what it is?
Our P4 pick for liveries is Alpine's pink livery, which they ran from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi, finally fulfilling a promise to put pink on their goddamn car. And now I feel like we were all a bit like, I don't know, done wrong by the renders again, because in the render it's a really nice dark pink, and then in reality it's much lighter. but I like it. I like it a lot more than their normal livery. Just actually putting a lot of paint on the car. Don't be afraid to put paint on the car. I know this is a high performance sport. You care about weight, but you know what? Wouldn't it be nice if it looks cooler? I think so. It's really nice. And I think it works especially well sort of in the night races. It looks very cool, which is obviously when they ran it. So that's all we know. But yeah, it takes P4.
I did not vote for that one. I'm just saying.
Do you have an issue with it?
I do not like it. I do not like it at
Boo.
all.
Boo.
But
I
it's
don't think I
fine.
voted for it either.
I did. I
I
liked it.
didn't.
I did
No.
not vote for it.
But McLaren Chrome got snubbed, so
As a pink enjoyer, I just take what I can get at this point. Like,
yeah.
fair.
No, that's
fair.
valid.
the F1 drivers like avoid pink like the plague, so to have it on a car was a blessing.
True. Okay, well, Kira, would you tell us what is on the first step of the podium? Who got P3, third place?
So the livery that was voted P3 was the Haas livery from Austin. This is a nice tribute to Haas's home race at the Circuit of the Americas, with sort of just a very different style to normal, sort of a more sort of retro look with a lot more detailing compared to their normal livery, and also a lot more like sort of American stimuli, like the eagle on the side, a lot of stars, red, white, and blue. It's all very, very American, but very cool.
American stimuli. That's beautiful. I need to use that phrase in my day to day.
America. Very cool.
America.
There is
Fuck
there is
yeah.
mastery in the mess sometimes with the way I speak.
Okay, so that was our P3 pick. Immy, who got second place?
On the second step of the podium is the McLaren Monaco livery, which is obviously a tribute to Ayrton Senna. And it's yet again something I love because they just weren't afraid to sort of cover the car in colour. Right? It's yellow, it's green, it's got a bit of blue in there. It's very sort of Brazil, if that makes sense. And though you could compare it to a Sprite can, it holds quite a dear place in my heart because it's quite iconic. Right, you can look at that and you can't confuse that with any other car, any other livery this year. You know what that is. It's just very visually there.
100%. Gotta love it. Nice use of colors and a nice tribute to Ayrton Senna. Thank you, Immy. But the moment we've all been waiting for, the Traffic Paradise Radio Livery of the Year goes to Visa Cash App RB's Miami Bisexual Livery, because my goodness, that livery is beautiful. Absolutely stunning, gorgeous, every color of the rainbow thrown on there in the most amazing display of fun and just awesomeness. And what's more than that, they even got to put it on their F1 Academy car. So Amna Alkubaisi, Daniel Ricciardo, and Yuki Tsunoda all got to use this livery, and they all scored points. It was the only weekend where every single Visa Cash App RB driver scored points. So it was a very lucky livery as well. Kira, what do you think about the VCarb Miami livery?
I just think it's so perfect the way that they've blended all the pastel colours together. Considering that everyone was making fun of the classic RB livery at the start of the year, I think this is very much a we will cook so hard with this that you forget how bad a normal livery is.
People thought that was bad.
I like their normal livery.
It was
I like
clowned
it.
on, I swear.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, I swear I remember people making fun of it, like because it was like you have the crazy long name, and then you have the really wildly coloured car as well.
They're good colours though.
They are good colours. It grew on me. I mean, I hated it at the start of the year, but it grew on me.
Kira.
No, the original.
I think the original is the best standard livery of the whole grid. It looks
It's
better
really
than most
good.
of the
It's
other
got
cars.
really good colours on it, and it's not
Yeah.
just like a big hunk of black.
Justice for
Yeah,
VCOB. Justice.
to be fair, they were also one of the only teams to not go just full carbon fiber, which
Yes.
possibly showed in the performance, but also it's just so refreshing to colour.
Fair,
That
fair.
was a bit mean. Sorry, guys. You did a job.
You did a job.
I want to say good job, but it wasn't quite a good job.
Okay.
Yeah,
Immy, your
this is
thoughts on the Visa Cash App RB Miami livery?
it's so good, and the way they revealed it, doing that weird spray paint car wash, it's just no livery has had this sort of buzz around it, I think, that the Miami one had. How many liveries got like a reveal? Because I don't think many did.
It was just VCOB.
Yeah, they had a whole event.
But they also had another a similar thing for their Vegas livery. They made like a whole movie trailer about the car just like being glittery and appearing and then disappearing again.
VCOB will always do fun things with their liveries, but yeah, hands down, it's such like a sort of breath of fresh air, sort of in the same vein as the Alpine pink one, but it goes even further because it's not just like one color. It's just such a little beautiful gradient. Oh, I love it. They should use it full time next year, and maybe they'll score points every round.
Yeah, I think if I had to sort of rank my personal top 3 liveries of the season, or if I had to do, let's say I had to do a top 5, 4 of those liveries would be Visa Cash App RB, and one of them would be the McLaren Monaco, because I loved every single livery that VCOB brought this year. I just think they were amazing, and they really just were so innovative with them. Like the denim one in Singapore, I know not everyone was a fan of it, but I really appreciated that they like sort of went for this different texture and different vibe. And then the Vegas one was just so beautiful. So yeah, I love VCOB's liveries this season, even the original one, but the Miami one is by far the best. But unfortunately, that's it. That's the end of our show. It's our final episode of the season. Kira, Immy, do you want to just say a quick how you feel about the season that we've done?
It's been lovely to have our sort of debut half season as a podcast. I mean, we started this after the summer break. It's been so much fun. I'm really grateful that we've been able to do this and start this, and hopefully we'll be able to continue it for however long we want to. And it's just been so much fun. I can't wait for next season where we can like just start doing more. Yeah, it's been lovely.
I'm just excited. I'm excited for next season. I'm excited for what we've done. I'm happy. We're sort of like the equivalent of like Franco Colapinto coming in after Frankfurt.
We are the Franco Colapinto of F1 podcast. I love that. Yeah. Although actually we have a seat for next season though. That's a bit different. Sorry, Franco. I wish you had a seat.
Yeah, in fairness, Franco also has more fans than us, but anyway.
True. Yeah, that balances out.
We win some, we lose some. It balances out. Yeah, we don't have the entirety of Argentina behind us, but yeah, it's been good fun, and I am optimistic for next year. It's going to be such a good season. So good to cover. Raw.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to not having to edit anything for like a month. But other than that, I will miss our little chats, and I am looking very much forward to next year. But with that said, it's only time to thank you, our loyal listeners and viewers, for tuning in to Traffic Paradise Radio. If you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to follow us if you're listening on Spotify, or like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, so you can catch all our content in 2025. In the description, you will find links for our socials, so you can be sure to follow us there to keep in contact with us until next season begins. So thank you so much. Have a good rest of your day or night. And one last time, bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Are we doing Cool Your Brakes?
Yeah, I guess we can. Because I took out the 2024 bit because that was for the other video, but low-key, I've put that at the ending,
Yeah.
so let me add it back. Oh, Christ.
So what do I say? Cool Your Brakes?
I'm gonna copy and paste it.
I've said this like 100 times this year.
I'm gonna copy and paste it,
How have I forgotten
and then
it?
you're gonna refresh the Google Doc, and you're gonna know. Why is
Okay.
that a thing? Okay.
Nice paradise, like traffic paradise. What is this one?